Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 3 of the anime series, Rokka no勇者, and I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, not least of which because of Flamey Speed Draw. Let me say from right out of the gate as well that the subtitles, the character names have been spelled differently over the last couple of episodes for where I've seen them, and I thought her name was actually Fremy. That's how I pronounced it in my previous discussion video, but herein we're seeing it's Flamey, and some of the other characters' names as well have had tweaks to their spellings. Hopefully they're actually, pointed more toward the correct pronunciations and spellings. Adlet, had his last name with an A in the previous 2 episodes as Mayer, but it's pronounced Meyer, and they've gotten rid of the A. Now, Shitania's name was spelled differently, and even her bodyguard, Goldov, it was spelled with like an F in the previous incarnation, the subtitles of the episodes. And so now I hope we have the names all spelled more correctly. But as I say, Flamey just really stole the show in this particular episode. And I mean, even to the point where Adlet, he's really just, there's a lot of emphasis on the characterization there of him trying to piece together what is up with her. What is up with her one hang-up about meeting the other Braves and them trying to kill her and vice versa. What is that all about? It's, even by the end of this episode, we're still kind of wondering, and everything ramps up to a head, but you have Adlet going to the nth degree to try to convince her he's not going to try to kill her. He's going to try to protect her, in fact. And I love that you get to that one point where he kind of sneaks up on her. She's been trying to escape, and he kind of uses his cunning and spotting ability to chase her down. And she's like winded. She's like frustrated. What are you doing this for? How are you able to do this? And he sneaks up on her and steals her bag of extra bullets, ammunition, and everything. And he's basically like, look, you're going to have to shoot me if you want this back. You're stuck with me. This is the way it's going to be. I'm going to protect you. And he's going to walk away, and you can see that he's calling her bluff because she could shoot him at any moment. It's kind of like, why hasn't she? If she's all, maybe she's all talk, and maybe it's just, as I've speculated in the previous episode discussion video, maybe it's about her trying to, it's like self-defense. She's trying to protect her own life or something along those lines. Whatever the reasoning, he's walking away, and he's kind of looking at her in a mirror that he's got, like a pocket-held mirror. And when she puts that gun down, he's like, whew, because he was really risking his own life there for a minute. And it's very interesting. I mean, her personality, she's very monosyllabic. She's very much unfriendly. I mean, it seems like wherever her homestead lies, she must have forgotten when she left her self-help book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. She left that behind, apparently. Because she is so unfriendly and unwelcoming. But I love the quirk of her character. She's like exacerbated by the fact that Adlet is going so above and beyond. And of course being split off from now Shitania and Goldov respectively, who are kicking ass and taking names with the fiends that are cropping up and everything. And there is this whisper of, there's going to be somebody in this group of 6 Braves that's going to be disingenuous to the cause. There's going to be a 7th at some point if you read the synopsis for the series and everything. And as I'm watching these characters debut, I'm just like, trying to gauge which of them is going to be the turncoat, so to speak, if we've even met them yet. Maybe we haven't, but I feel like this series is probably going to go for a red herring scenario where it's not going to be the person you probably would suspect in the earliest, introduction of them. But I love that Adlet, manages at least to make Flamey follow along. And they get to this point where they're at this one fortress that's, undergone a lot of attacks, I guess fiends and everything. And they said that some of the 6 Braves have already been there, and they're already, going on their way and everything. And Adlet is given this information about this sort of fog-based magical barrier that is meant to protect, sort of the rest of the land from the land of the demon god and all the fiends that will be outcropping. The only sort of downside to that is one of the 6 Braves will have to enter and activate the gate or whatever it is and be left behind. They won't be then able to go into the demon god's realm, so to speak, where the 6 Braves are meant to go to defeat him and all that kind of stuff. And added to that, the weightiness of, well, which one of these characters might be false to the cause. You know, it's very intriguing to me. Of course, with Nashitania, you still see there's a level of her being exacerbated by Goldov's trying to protect her and trying to get in her way. At one point, you know, they're trying to lead a fiend toward these like spikes of ice or whatever it is that was casted by Nashitania, and it looks like, you know, it got sort of smart to what they were trying to do, where they were trying to lead it, and it arcs back toward her. And then of course Goldov comes lunging in from off screen and like impales this thing in the head and whatever. And so I mean, he's definitely an intriguing character, especially in the fact that he seems bothered by, in the dialogue exchange between he and Nashitania as they're leaving and they're trying to catch up with Adlet and whatever interest she has in Adlet seems to bother him. And it's almost like, is he smitten with her? Does he think he's going to line up with the princess or something like that? Is it just that he's being overprotective, or does he have an interest in her as well? And he's kind of disappointed that some, you know, sort of rogue like Adlet could come in and sweep her off her feet and make her feel happy and joyous about having a connection and all that kind of stuff. Like maybe he's jealous in a sense. Why can't she let her hair down around me the way she does around this cat I don't even know yet? I haven't even met yet. But she is, you know, basically telling him, just take your time and get to know him. You're going to like him too. He's a really good guy. It's fun having fun with him, making fun of him, everything like that. And of course, everything builds to this crescendo. Everything comes to a head somewhat unexpectedly. Like, I didn't know if they were actually going to meet back up. Their paths were going to cross again. But of course, you have, you know, Flamey just sort of calling it quits once again. Like, just leave me be. Shut up. Stop being so nice to me, to Adlet, because it makes me want to kill you. Her very unlikable personality coming to the fore once again. And it seems as though he turns around very dramatically. He gets this expression on his face that says to me, if he's not going to walk right up to her and smack her and like try to wake her up and get her into the now and understand how he's behaving around her, why he's doing that. It's all interrupted though. Like, that's how I felt it was going, but it's all interrupted by them coming under the attack of Nashitania and Goldov, respectively, who've now caught up, as I say, with them, because of Goldov's information. We left off in the previous episode with this information coming to the fore, that whoever this brave killer is, they believe it to be the description, the name of Flamey, and what exactly is up with that? Again, we leave with that question. You know, we enter with that question, we leave with that question. Why is she killing other braves? Why has she? Has she actually killed them? And if so, why? You know, was it a self-defense thing? Was it they were coming after her? Is she the demon god incarnate? You know, the falsity in these this group of 6 braves of the 6 flowers, whatever it is. And I mean, there's just so much that is intriguing to me. And again, I've said in my first 2 episode discussion videos, I just love the depth and the feel, the soothing calmness of this world. Even when things, you know, there are fiend battles going on and we see that this fortress had come under the attack and it's almost in ruins and all the soldiers are dead and everything, there's still a majesty to it. There's still a magic to this world that harkens back to those feelings of playing those RPGs, you know, spending hours upon hours after school grinding and trying to level up your characters and being just transfixed when the story could continue on, characters being split off, having to go different directions, you know, face off against a boss fight or something like that from different angles. And that's kind of the vein that this story is taking. And I love that there isn't an overemphasis on action. I was actually having a discussion with one of the commenters in my previous episode discussion video about how this show is not something you look toward for just all out and out action like an Attack on Titan, things of that sort. And I love it for that. I love that there is depth and story and character being pushed to the forefront, even with, you know, Flamey herself, which is so, she's like at arm's length. It's so hard to try to get to know her when she's that dismissive and wanting to be, you know, kept away from people and unfriendly. But that also does speak volumes. Ironically, it speaks volumes to her character, even with that overhanging mystery of why, what the impetus is behind her behaving this way. And that's the magic of wanting to watch more. You want to get to know what exactly is going on and get to know these characters and see what's going to happen when they come together. Will they successfully have a force powerful enough to quell the demon god? Is that even a thing that's going to happen? You know, all these things are up in the air, and I just can't wait to find out as we unfold every subsequent episode. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of episode 3 of Rokka no Yusha, if you've seen it, if you enjoyed it as much as I did, if you got a kick out of Flamey, or if you're not liking her. I know some people, I gravitate toward characters sometimes that people just don't like, and it was kind of like SAO, Sword Art Online. I actually liked the Suguha character. I felt bad for her and everything, and people were like, you know, just banging on and on and on how annoying she was and how frustrating that whole story was. And there were aspects that were, don't get me wrong, but this show is kind of a similar thing where it's like I'm drawn toward the Flamey character because I feel like she has personality and just the quirkiness of her being monosymbolic and so at arm's length. It just draws me in to want to know more about her. And sometimes that'll rub other people, other viewers, the wrong way. So anything goes in the comments below. Love having the conversation with you guys. Whether you like the show like I do or you don't, you know, tell me why not if you don't. And I love having the conversation. So otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well. And I'll catch you all later. Peace.